on into the pre-show before the free show.
Wow.
It's been a while,
Cooper
man.
Rush is back, folks.
It's been a while.
She's back. Oh my gosh, what happened to our thing? Let me get this back up and running. Hold on.
If you can tell, it's been a while since we've done a show.
Well, we're back. Well, we got snowed in.
We sure did.
Here. We were supposed to have a show on Thursday, and it didn't happen because of weather.
Yeah.
Hashtag war on weather.
Correct.
So it didn't happen. And as a result, I would like to just make an announcement, if I may. And you don't know this is coming, Mallory Hartley, but I feel like I need to get this off my chest.
Okay.
I understand what she's done for this program. I get it. But let me say once and for all that the woman legally known as Ashley Pickle will never, ever appear on this program again.
That's not true.
She will never, ever...
Well, Ashley Pickle, I guess. Legally.
Ever appear on this program again. I will make that declaration here. It won't happen.
Do you care to explain?
No. I don't care to explain.
I think we need to. I think we need to let the people know why.
Well, I think people might know. I think people do know. Pickle's getting married on Saturday.
What?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Pickle's getting married on Saturday. You and I are both involved. We're gonna have her surrounded.
We have big jobs. Not only are we involved, we've got big jobs at this wedding.
You are the maid of honor.
Yes.
I am the officiant. And so I want to be clear that there are going to be 3 people around her, okay? One is going to be her soon-to-be husband, Brian.
Yes.
And the other 2 are going to be us.
I feel so bad for her.
So,
ain't no way she's keeping a straight face past 3 minutes in to the ceremony.
Listen.
No way.
Now, you and I think you and I take our jobs very seriously in these matters of matrimony.
Yeah.
Of
course.
You have the one job you have is to make sure that when they kiss, when they're they
yes.
they you may kiss the bride.
My
job's to get out of the way.
Correct.
Your job is to make sure I get out
and
of
if
the
you
way.
I was going to say if you did you see the TikTok I sent you this weekend?
I did.
Yeah, it's if you don't get out of the way for that picture, I am going to take you by the shoulders and rip you out of that picture.
Yeah.
As fast as I possibly can.
Look,
with as much force as I possibly can.
You know I fear and respect you. And so
of course. Why would you not?
I don't take that lightly. I know that you're gonna bring the heat.
Oh yeah.
And so I know that it's gonna be serious business whenever you line it up, but it's gonna be fun. You're not here Thursday, are you?
I was planning on coming in, but
I think V's gonna be producing.
Yeah, V's gonna be producing TFT, but I might have other wedding duties too that I've been assigned to.
So it's a TFT wedding. We'll be streaming it live on Texan Live.
Can you imagine?
We're not streaming the pickle wedding.
We will not be streaming the wedding.
Do you know how great that would be? What if we surreptitiously did it? What
about just the ceremony?
What if we did?
What about just the ceremony?
What if we did it without asking her?
I think she'd sue us for copyright. Can she do that?
Let's talk to the lawyers.
Man, that would be pretty cool, though.
Anyway, hit the theme expo. From the new Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Lewisville, Texas, it is Texas Football Today, a program on the internet My name is Greg Tepper. I'm the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine and TexasFootball.com. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. Whether you're watching us live, TexasFootball.com, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all the places, or you're also listening to the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local mediocre internet show. I am sitting over there at the helm today, making us sound good, making the computers work, making them sing. Mm-hmm. She is my Mal Pal. She is your Mal Pal. She's our QB2. She's our Marcus Mariota.
Oh, I like that one.
She's Mallory Hartley.
Hey. Good to be back.
Do you know I picked Marcus Mariota because I saw him last night. Mm-hmm. Did you watch Buck Commander last night? Buccaneer Commander at all?
No, I did not.
No, I did, and they have some packages for Marcus Mariota. Like the Commanders do. Like he comes in and like does like quarterback sneaks. I think because he's bigger than Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, he's big.
He's big.
He's a big quarterback.
Yeah. Anyway, you're our Marcus Mariota.
Okay, I like that one.
Today is Monday, January 13th, 2025. Ooh, it's Monday the 13th. 318 days until Thanksgiving. Happy birthday to Liam Hemsworth.
Oh, okay. Question.
Okay.
Which is the better Hemsworth brother, Liam or Chris? It's an important question.
Boy, what a great question. Get your responses in the comments. I could not tell you the difference.
Okay, well, one of them's Thor.
Okay.
And the other one's in the Hunger Games. So that's Chris Hemsworth is Thor, and then the other one is, I don't know what his name is.
In Hunger Game?
I don't remember, yeah.
He is Hunger Game?
Yeah, he is Mr. Hunger Game.
He is Hunger Game?
Yeah.
Okay. It's episode 18.
Doesn't matter.
On today's show, folks, big show. Got some headlines from across the state, including a couple of really high-profile coaching moves across the state of Texas, including one of the most decorated programs in Texas high school football history is looking for a head coach. We will talk about that. Then we're going to hear from the head coach of the Tidehaven Tigers. Coach David Lucio was down at the Coastal Bend Clinic down there in Corpus Christi, where Matt Stepp was on location. Caught up with David Lucio of the Tidehaven Tigers. We'll hear from him. In the back half of the show, we got some big things on TexasFootball.com. Mm-hmm. We rolled out the 2025 Texas high school football program rankings. So we will cuss and discuss a little bit about what those are all about as we are ranking the UIL Texas high school football programs from 1 through 1,216. We will rank them all. We'll just list them all, 1 through 1216. Probably not, but we will talk a little bit about them, including a new number one for the first time since we've been doing this 7 years in the making. So we will get to that coming up here at the back half of the program. Greg Powers will be back. I believe he might be here Thursday if we want to do This Week in Recruiting. He has some good family things to deal with right now. But yeah, he's off doing family stuff right now, so he will be back at a later date. Don't worry. He's not fired like Ashley Pickle is. We will not have Ashley Pickle back on this program ever again.
Correct.
Do we have first four through the door?
We sure do. It was Ed McElroy, BJ WB, Aaron Arbuckle, and jersey number 69. Welcome in, fellas.
Why do you say it like that?
What do you mean, what do I say it like that? It just makes me laugh.
Okay.
You know, I'm not as used to it as Pickle is, so it just makes me laugh every time when I see it.
Okay.
So, you know.
All right, Mal, let's get to some headlines from across the state of Texas as you changed the camera angle on me. Sorry, I looked up and I saw a program. I was looking off to the side and just... Anyway.
You know, I like to actually produce this show, okay?
Wow.
So,
shots fired.
No, I'm shots fired at you, not Pickle.
Shots fired at the bride. Anyway.
No.
Let's get some headlines from across the state of Texas. Let's start with the big news out of Central Texas, and that is that the Mart Panthers are looking for a new head coach as Kevin Hoffman has announced his retirement. He announced this on Twitter.
Big news.
This came down on Thursday. Announced that he was going to be retiring. He actually said it in a rather funny way. He said, "After 34 years of dedicated service in education, I've decided to harness my experience and broaden my professional horizons by joining the retirement industry."
I love that.
He leaves now after he spent 9 seasons as the head coach there at Mart. He was a longtime assistant there before then. He was 9 years as head coach. In his 9 years, he won 121, or I believe it's 121-13 was his record. He went to he went to 6 title games in 9 seasons. He won 3 state championships in 9 seasons. Okay, this is plain and simple one of the very best coaches in Texas high school football over the last decade. Hard stop. They won, of course, back-to-back state championships from 2017 to 2019. And, yeah, now goes off into retirement. Obviously, we're very fond of Kevin Hoffman around here. Great dude. Really wish him the best. A guy who I know is going to, we're going to miss him in the Texas high school football world. I imagine he'll be keeping up with Texas high school football because it's in his bones. This is really interesting to me because this opens up a program there in Mart. Obviously, it's 2A Division II. It's the smallest 11-man classification in Texas high school football. But don't let the small school get in the way of the fact that this is one of the biggest jobs in Texas. Okay? This is a team with 8 state championships. There are only 6 programs in Texas that have 8 state championships. Okay? It's the only 2A program with 8 state championships. There is an argument to be made that this is the best small school job in the state, at least from a pedigree perspective. The biggest small school job in the state, which has now come open. It'll be a very interesting opening down there. And now, by the way, Central Texas, between this and Temple, there is a real argument to be made that the biggest big school and the biggest small school jobs in Central Texas are both open right now. Really fascinating stuff there. As Kevin Hoffman has retired there at Mart, we certainly wish him all the best. Also open in the Houston area, Barbers Hill has come open. As
Another
Carl,
big job, yeah.
Carl Absek has stepped down after 5 years there at Barbers Hill. Of course, he's a state champion head coach, won a state championship there at Cedar Park. He has stepped down from there. This is a huge, this is a big coaching change. Barbers Hill is a program with a lot of resources, and they always, whenever this job comes open, there's always a big line of coaches that are waiting for that are kind of waiting for things to. There's always a big line of coaches to go for the Barbers Hill job because they've got great resources. Remember, Tom Westerberg went there from Allen. Now Carl Absek went there from Cedar Park. He is stepping down there, which opens up Barbers Hill. Expect another star-studded list of coaches to be on this list there for Barbers Hill. Keep an eye on that one. This one came down this morning. Matt Stepp reported it on TexasFootball.com, and that is that there is a change at Fulshire. Nick Caduti, who, of course, has helped to launch that Fulshire program and really take them to new heights, is leaving Lamar Consolidated ISD to take over the head coaching job at Klein. Fulshire is now open as Nick Caduti is going to become the new head coach of the Klein Bearcats. This is a pretty big splash hire there for Klein as Klein ISD goes and hires Fulshire head coach Nick Caduti. This is a guy who went 12-1 last year in 2024. He went 22-3 over their first 2 seasons there at the 5A level, and then they go 12-1 in their first year at the 6A level. He has been a winner there at Fulshire, kind of launching that fledgling program. Really interesting hire there for Klein. And now for Lamar Consolidated ISD, which of course has plenty of talent, see Richmond Randall. A big job comes open there at Fulshire. How will they fill that job? It'll be really interesting. That's a big opening down there in the Houston area. Keep an eye on Fulshire as Nick Caduti is leaving to take over there at Klein High School.
Klein ISD is going to be fun next year because I feel like whatever program you look at, everyone's kind of on the rise, right? Yes. They all got dudes around there, so this makes it even more interesting.
One other one that I wanted to make sure that I brought up, and this is I didn't send you a headline for this one, but I want to bring this up. Richard Whitaker is stepping down at Port Lavaca Calhoun. After 20 seasons there, he announced his retirement there at Port Lavaca Calhoun. He won 191 and 112. There he is the 20th active winningest coach in Texas high school football right now. We wish him all the best, Coach Whitaker. Great dude. Did fantastic stuff there at Port Lavaca Calhoun. That's another big job down there in South Texas that is open as Port Lavaca Calhoun has come up and Richard Whitaker has retired. We wish him all the best. Another big opening, this down there in South Texas, and that is that Geronimo Navarro has come open as Rod Blunt has left to take over at George West. Geronimo Navarro now looking for a new head coach as Rod Blunt is leaving to go take over at George West. Interesting to see where Geronimo Navarro goes with this one, because that is a program that, of course, has had really great years in the past. They're in Region 4. Where do they go to replace a guy like Rod Blunt, who had great success there? Interested to see as he leaves to go take over at George West. And speaking of good dudes who are retiring, I mentioned this on Twitter because this came down, I think, it was Thursday or Friday. It came down the same day as the Kevin Hoffman news. But Anthony Wood has announced his retirement at Round Rock Westwood. And Anthony Wood had been there at 20 years as the head coach at Round Rock Westwood. Went 90 and 119. The record's not going to blow you away. In 2010, 2011, they had a couple of really great years. They won a combined 19 games in those two seasons. But a guy who really made his imprint there on Round Rock ISD and one of the all-time great dudes in Texas high school football. Coach Anthony Wood announced his retirement there at Round Rock Westwood. Here's a fun story. This is like coaching school in 2012. I actually played, he probably doesn't want me to mention this, but here we go. I actually played poker with Anthony Wood and Dave Campbell at coaching school in like 2012. Yeah.
2012?
Yeah. This is like years ago.
Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, and it was a great time. That's one of my fondest memories is playing poker with Anthony Wood and Dave Campbell.
That's low-key a flex. I'm not
It was
gonna
awesome.
Lie.
It was a lot of fun.
Flex.
Anthony Wood, one of the all-time great dudes, retires after a fantastic career there at Round Rock Westwood Thursday afternoon. He told our Matt Stepp, quote, "I got to live out my dream every day. I've truly enjoyed coaching. Getting to have my two daughters work with me for 6 years was just a blessing. Being in the same place for 20 years is just amazing." We certainly wish him all the best as he goes into retirement. Those are all the coaching news across the state of Texas. Go to TexasFootball.com for all the coaching changes. Now more than 80 coaching changes at TexasFootball.com. We are tracking all of them, so make sure you keep it locked on TexasFootball.com. We'll keep you posted every step of the way here in this wild and woolly coaching carousel season. I hear the Dallas Cowboys are making a change.
They sure are.
Maybe Anthony Wood will go for it. Maybe Kevin Hoffman will go for it. I will do the job. I will coach the Dallas Cowboys.
I was going to say you should do it. I think you should do it.
You know what? You and I,
we
will co-head coach. How about that?
All
I think that would be. We could do it. We could.
Drafting every Michigan State player. Just kidding.
We are Texas Football Today. We're here Mondays and Thursdays on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's, and of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Hope you'll consider going to TexasFootball.com/subscribe to become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber. All sorts of great stuff on our streaming platform, Dave Campbell's Texan Live, which you get as part of our Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscription, including basketball going on right now. I think there's tons of basketball tonight and tomorrow night. As far as what else is going on? A lot of basketball, right?
Yeah, just a lot of basketball right now.
A lot of basketball.
So,
baseball.
Soccer season's
baseball,
coming up too.
soccer is going to get heated up on Texan Live, so make sure you go there. Plus, we'll send you the 2024
Rising.
Dave Campbell's Texas Football Rising right behind me. I saw Jonah Williams on Saturday at the Built for Tough Player of the Year banquet that
nice.
Ashley Pickle and I hosted. It's a fun time.
Such a sick cover.
It was a very sick cover.
It's one of my favorite covers I think we've ever done.
It is also coaching clinic season as coaches are traveling around the state, getting together and talking some ball, a little chalk talk, and sometimes we peek our head in and talk to some of those coaches. Matt Stepp was down in Corpus Christi this weekend talking with coaches at the Coastal Bend Clinic. One of those guys is a guy who is no stranger to winning, Coach David Lucio of the Tidehaven Tigers. Matt Stepp caught up with him. Here is Matt Stepp's conversation with David Lucio of Tidehaven here on Texas Football Today.
Matt Stepp, Dave Campbell's Texas Football, holding the tiny microphone here with the head coach of the Tidehaven Tigers, Coach David Lucio, here at the Coastal Bend Coaches Clinic. Coach, appreciate you taking a few minutes to chat with us.
Hey, man, I'm glad I can make it to this awesome clinic, man. They put on a great show every year.
And Coach, I'm just about ready to call you a legend at this point. You guys played for a state championship last year, and what was supposed to be a quote-unquote down year for you guys made it all the way to the state semifinals again, come up just a little bit short, proving the doubters wrong. Looking back on the 2024 season, how proud of you of your guys?
Well, I'm extremely proud, not just of the guys, but of the program. This is kind of what I envisioned back in the day, that once we got our off-season and the program in itself established, that we would make runs like this. Probably been a little ahead a little better than what I even anticipated. But to be honest with you, next year should be great. And I keep track on our kids all the way down to kindergarten. Tidehaven's got a lot of good years ahead of it.
We'll talk about 2025 in a minute because, you got a whole offseason to take care of. But let's talk about this coaches clinic as well. Ran into you last year. You were getting out of here early last year because it was an ice storm that was coming. And so you're back here at this clinic. What do you like about this clinic and all the great speakers that are here?
Oh, man, they always have a great selection of speakers, but just the energy you get from here, man, a lot of coaches want to learn. So my staff, offensive staff, spoke today, and, there was a lot of guys in there taking notes or whatever. And but it's not like we just have information to hand out. We could turn around and we get stuff from them too, man. I've learned a lot just in the last couple of years coming to this clinic.
All right, now, Coach, talk about the offseason a little bit. Now, you guys are in a position where you had a great year last year, and you bring back a lot of guys. I want to say you're bringing back, I think I heard 8 and 10, or 8 and 9, something like that. You got a lot of starters back next year. So that's a luxury for sure. But I know for you, now you got to try to build depth, right? And that's, especially your level, building depth at the 3A Division II level is going to be key. What are some of the other things you're looking to focus on with your guys?
Now, one thing we want to focus, every offseason we kind of set goals. Obviously, it's always to get bigger, faster, stronger, and that type of stuff. But we want to emphasize the faster part, man. We've got a wave of some kids with some wheels coming up, so that should help. We had some puppies that couldn't quite help us maybe, in the playoff level type of ball this year. But next year, I think physically, after 6 months of work we put them through here in 2025, we'll probably be a lot better. But we're going to emphasize speed this offseason.
All right, and then just the last couple of years, you guys have won, by my count, I'm not a math major, 9 playoff games the last 2 years. Definitely not something that's easy to do. But do you feel like the support and the buzz around the town, quote, I don't know, Tidehaven's not really a town, but El Matón and in that area, the buzz around the community has been even bigger now, right?
Oh yeah, man. Everybody's bought in. We if you come out to our place, man, you have first graders on up. Playing 7-on-7 year round. They got select teams. It's insane how much our kids from all the way down to those levels. If you ever come to any of our games, you can see where I carry around like 15 to 20 water boys, and I just let about all of them because I want them to get a taste of what it's like to be on that sideline, and it seems to be working. But parents, some of the former players that I coach are out there pushing these kids in the right direction. And so, like I said, man, future's bright.
Now, I don't want to date you, but you've been around a little while, and you got guys that you've coached with and players that you've coached that are doing things now. And I know one guy you coached with, Josh Irvin there at Ganado. I know he coached with you at Tidehaven. How proud of you of him and the run they made?
Yeah, well, I actually coached Josh when he was in Pee Wee League. I should have spanked him or something back then for the spanking he put on me this year. But nah, Josh is. I'm always proud of Josh. I know a lot of guys on that staff. They got a great coaching staff there at Ganado. A bunch of great young men, and I'm just proud about that whole staff. But yeah, I'm proud of Josh, man. He's done a great job. He's a young cat. A lot of people were doubting him because of his age, and I knew he had it in him, man. I knew that staff had it in them, and it's a good combination. Them and that community, their kids work really hard. So I'm proud of them, man.
Final question for you. We mentioned you got a lot of guys back, but there are, you do lose a couple of seniors that were key players. What are the position groups that you're really going to be when you get the ball out in the spring and start doing 7-on-7? What are some position groups that you would like to see, some young guys maybe mature in the offseason and take that next step?
We're going to try to find the next running back is our biggest thing. We got a lot of good candidates, but that's going to be one that goes. That's kind of on the offensive side. Only we run packages or whatever, so our tight ends back and our slot receivers back. our fullback in that package, he's graduating, and then our main tailback there at the end, Duran, he's graduating. So, but we've got some really good candidates, man, and those will be the emphasis on offense. Defensively, we got to find 2 defensive ends, man. But I got about 5 or 6 kids that are they're gonna be good, man. So they just got to put in the work, stay healthy, stay out of. We don't get in a lot of trouble there at Tidehaven, but I always preach that to the kids, man. Football season never ends. You go catch yourself getting in trouble or something, and you just ruin it in the off season, which sets you back for football. So I preach that all the time. Take care of yourself, and staying that way. We don't stay on the track.
There you go. Coach, appreciate your time. Appreciate what you do for student athletes in the state of Texas. Congrats on a heck of a 2024 season, and we'll see you out at 7-on-7 throwing it around a little bit.
Oh, yeah, man. I'll see you out there. Love seeing me some Matt Stepp, man.
There you go. Thanks, Coach.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Potter, Executive Director of Be Well Texas. Too many people are struggling alone these days, and alcohol and drug deaths are increasing. We started Be Well Texas to offer high-quality, science-based addiction treatment and recovery services anywhere, even at home. We provide compassionate, caring support virtually or in person. In many cases, there is no cost for treatment if you don't have insurance. Really. Welcome to Be Well Texas. We're glad you're here.
30-yard line, the 20, the 10.
Hey DFW residents, get your grocery essentials in minutes, not hours or days, with Wing Drone Delivery. Forget about last-minute trips to the store when you need things like cereal for breakfast before school, medicine for a cold, or snacks for a movie night. Wing's drones get you quick, no-contact delivery in as fast as 15 minutes. Say goodbye to last-minute grocery runs and say hello to more of your valuable time. Sign up today.
Texas coaches, Coach Brackle here from First Down Playbook. After 25 years as a Texas high school football coach, I understand the time, energy, and commitment it takes to compete at your level. First Down Playbook was created by coaches for coaches to help you vertically line your total program. 1 week free team membership for all Texas high school and college coaches. Let First Down Playbook help give you that winning edge.
Back here on Texas Football Today. Appreciate David Lucio catching up with Matt Stepp at the Coastal Bend Clinic down there in Corpus Christi. Mallory, every year on TexasFootball.com, this time of year, here in January, we take a little break after football season. Mm-hmm. We come back, we run the numbers. That's right. We get the numbers, we throw them into the big computer. And we try to answer the question. It's probably the question that we get the most, which is, hey, so who are like the best teams in Texas high school football? Do you get that? Like whenever people find out what you do for a living and like they try to make small talk, but they don't actually know anything about high school football, they're like, so like who are the best teams?
I get a lot of like, oh, so how's Duncanville this year?
Yeah.
How's DeSoto? And I'm like, how's Katy?
They know like 3 teams.
Correct.
Right. And so what we wanted to do was come up with a comprehensive overall measure of how these teams stack up. All of them stack up. And so what we came up with was the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Program Rankings. And this is the 7th year that we've done them. This is the 2025 Program Rankings. And a little bit about how this works. Let's go ahead and put the first graphic up. A little bit about how the program rankings work. This is ranking the relative strength of the UIL Texas high school football programs over the last 6 seasons, okay? So this is not a measurement of, like, how you are all time, okay? Of course, programs like Highland Park is the winningest program in Texas high school football history. They have the most wins in Texas high school football history. They'll always have the most wins because they've been playing since time immemorial. This is only a measurement of the last 6 seasons. And you may say, well, why 6 seasons? And that's a fair question. The reason that we do 6 seasons is because that represents 1.5 graduation cycles, okay? So really, it will mitigate the impact of a single transcendent class of athletes, okay? If you've got one out of control like class and they go out there and they are absolutely dominant, then they will only be able to impact it for so long. In short, good programs will have great teams for a couple of years, but great programs will have great teams spread across a larger swath of time. That's why we go with 6 years as our measuring stick. And the rankings are based on a formula, which is comprised of 5 criteria. And I think all of these should make sense, okay? The number of games you won, okay? So like the raw number of games that you won, okay? Out of the maximum number possible. So, for example, if you're an 11-man team, the most number of games you can win in 6 games is 96 games, okay? If you're a 6-man team, the maximum number of games you can win in 6 years is 90. Winning percentage. That's pretty obvious. What percentage of the games do you win? I don't think I'm breaking any ground here. How many 10-win seasons do you have? Because to me, and certainly push back on this, Mallory, if you disagree, I think if you win 10 games in a season, I think that was a good year.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think there's any program in Texas that would look at a 10-win season and say, thumbs down, right? That's a quality season.
Oh, yeah. Especially for like how some of these teams play, like in the like pre-conference,
exactly,
pre-district,
right. If you get 10 wins, that's a good year, and we're giving you that mark. That is an extra credit there. That is part of our criteria. State championship game appearances is there, and then state championships. Okay, those are the 5 criteria. Now, this is important. Programs must have played all 6 varsity seasons to be eligible. So, for example, if you look at our rankings, Richmond Randall, the reigning 5A Division II state champs, they ain't on there. Okay? Neither is Canyon West Plains because they
New
launched
programs.
They played their first varsity pro year in 2022. Okay? Wichita Falls Legacy and Wichita Falls Memorial, even though they have history back to Old High and back to Ryder, they are, in our eyes, new programs, and as a result, they are ineligible for these rankings. This was in our minds, this was their first varsity season. And then you have programs like Booker, okay? Booker has been playing for a while, but Booker last year played an outlaw schedule. They played a non-varsity schedule while they were transitioning to 6-man. And so they will be ineligible for the rankings because they had a non-varsity season in there, okay? So that is how these rankings work. And on Friday, we teased this on social media. We actually released the top 100 of the rankings. We released the top 100 teams in our rankings. If you want to go to the next graphic. We showed, here's top 25.
Well, you put
that's
this
fine.
as number 2.
That's fine. Here it is, the top 25 in our Texas high school football program rankings. And you will notice at the very top a change. For the first time in our 7-year history of doing this, Aledo is not number 1. No, the number 1 team in our program rankings, the Gunner Tigers. Gunner has risen to number 1. Over 6 years, Mallory, Gunner is 88-6. They have played in 5 state championship games. They have won 4 state titles. Okay?
Yeah, that's a non-negotiable.
Okay? So they edge out Carthage, who is number 2, and they edge out Aledo. The reason is, plain and simple, they made an extra title game.
State championships.
They made 1 extra title game. Each of them have 4 titles in the last 6 years. But they have 1 extra title game. They've made 5 title games in the last 6 years. Carthage and Aledo over only 4. And when you get to the top, these margins are so small. They're so small that one thing like that can make all the difference. Carthage is number 2. They're 85-3 in the last 6 years, and they're second. Mm-hmm. Aledo is 82-7, and they tumbled to third. Okay. You also have 2 new teams into the top 10 there. So I guess I'll read off the top 25. Austin Westlake is number 4. Galena Park North Shore is number 5. Duncanville 6. Franklin number 7. Mart number 8. South Oak Cliff new to the top 10 at number 9. Shiner new to the top 10 at number 10. Gordon now back-to-back 181 state champs up to number 11. Refugio at number 12. Westbrook at number 13, Hawley at 14, Vandegrift all the way up to 15, DeSoto up to 16, Gilmer at 17, Southlake Carroll at 18. Actually, the best team without a title is Southlake Carroll, 18. 19 is Richland Springs. Katy is at 20. Albany's at 21. Malakoff, 22. Columbus at 23. Wimberley's 24. Brock's 25. There's your top 25. And, like, we can certainly, if you want to argue with these things, the thing you've got to remember here, and people are going to say, well, why is this team ahead of that team? You've got to make sure you're looking at the entirety of the 6 years. That's almost always my answer, okay? The entirety of the 6 years. Because some of these teams, they may have a stinker in there. Like, they may have, like, 1 year that they weren't very good in that 6 years. And that's what's holding them back. And so, for example, you've got teams that will have 5 years that are incredible, but 1 year that's not very good, and that 1 year is holding them back. This is really a measurement of consistent excellence, and Gunner has been the most consistently excellent program in Texas, I think pretty obviously.
Who holds the state's longest current active winning streak?
I believe that is Gordon. Gordon has won 30 in a row.
Yeah, I figured so.
Gordon's won 30 in a row. And by the way, Gordon is up 34 spots from number 45 up to number 11. If they win another title next year, my guess will be in the top 10. Mm-hmm. So then we released this on, if you want to, we got the complete rankings on TexasFootball.com. We released the top 100 on our social media. These are the top 100 programs. They're in alphabetical order. You can see where they're ranked, but you can see these are the 100 programs that comprise our top 100. We've got all of them ranked from 1 through 1,216. There are ties, for example. If you are interested, these are the types of things that I think are super interesting. Liberty Hill and Falls City, the exact same resume. Literally the exact same resume. They are both 64-20. They each have 4 10-win seasons. They each have 1 state runner-up finish. Jeez. That's just like, that's funny to me that like 2 programs that you never
have
associate with one another,
resume,
Liberty Hill and Falls City, basically the same program.
Complete different classifications.
Like basically the same program. They're entirely the same. And so you can check those out, the complete rankings on TexasFootball.com. Now, one of the things that I love about this is seeing what you can see is like where the trajectory is for these programs, like which way that they are trending. And so, and remember, it's twofold here. Whenever you put out the new rankings, you have, yes, you're onboarding what you did in 2024, but also what's happening is you're dropping off 2018, right? Last year was 2018 through 2023. This year is 2019 through 2024. So the 2018 season is cycling off. For example, that is why Galena Park North Shore is down 3 spots. It's because that 2018 title cycled off and they did not replace it with a title. You know what I mean? So as a result, it's really fascinating to see which teams are moving. So these are the teams that made the biggest leap in the rankings. Okay? Palestine Westwood is the biggest mover. Palestine Westwood made an enormous leap. They are up 459 spots to 985th. Or I'm sorry, to 526th. They were 985th last year. And the reason why is pretty easy to explain.
Kavion Bryant?
They were 1-9 in 2018. Okay? They were 1-9 in 2018. They're replacing it with an 11-1 season. Mm-hmm. So you're taking a terrible year and you're replacing it with a great one. The same goes, by the way, for Saginaw. Saginaw was in the bottom 50 programs in Texas. Okay? 1,165. They were one of the 50 worst programs in Texas. And they dropped off an 0-10. And they replaced it with a 11-1. Like, those types of things matter. Grand Saline improved 421 spots because they took a terrible 2018 and replaced it with a great 2024 to 5. Same thing with Overton. Overton was in the thousands. They're now kind of middle of the pack in Texas high school football. And Whiteface. Whiteface is fascinating. That right there is the power of making a title game. Okay? Whiteface was kind of a middle-of-the-road program. They make it to a state championship game and zoom into the top 200. Okay?
Well, and it's fun to look at all these programs, too, and see why this is,
Yes.
right? Is it like a new coach? Is it a star quarterback? You know,
Right.
It's kind of fun to determine why they're so much on the rise, right?
Whiteface is fascinating to me because if you look at this is a program that in 2018 they went 1-9. So they're dropping off a 1-9. And they're replacing it with, in the last 2 years, they went 11-1 last year, and now they went 14-1. Okay? And a title game appearance. So a huge leap of more than 400 spots for the Antelopes. Of course, there are programs that are on the other side of this that wish they could have 2018 back. And the top spot here, I think, is really telling. Beaumont Westbrook is the largest faller in our rankings, okay? They're down 462 spots. And the reason is that title game, that loss to Longview in that 2018 title game, falls off. That they no longer get credit for that season, and they're replacing it with a relatively forgettable 2024 season where they go 0-10. So they're replacing a state championship appearance with a winless season. That's how you drop almost 500 spots. Same goes with Mission Veterans Memorial. Mission Veterans Memorial, you're cycling off the Landry Gilpin years, and you're cycling on some more leaner years. Mansfield Lake Ridge, down into the thousands. Celeste, down 300 spots. And then San Antonio O'Connor, down almost 300 spots. So I think this is a fascinating just kind of bellwether of like where these programs are trending and these programs that, again, 6 years ago, Beaumont Westbrook playing for a state championship. Now, leaner times have come to the Golden Triangle, and you see that kind of reflected in the rankings. So you can find our 2025 Texas high school football program rankings on texasfootball.com. It's really interesting to dig into and see where kind of the wind is blowing and where your team is. For example, I can tell you that the highest rated team among the Texas high school, or I'm sorry, the Dave
staff.
Campbell staff is Llano.
Is it really? Okay.
114th.
Awesome.
Llano's 114th. Now, I will say this.
Where?
Little old Coppell.
Coppell's got to be up there.
190th. Up into the top 200.
Lake Dallas has got to be up there, too.
Lake Dallas is 499th.
Okay.
499th.
Where's my team?
Where's Arlington? Arlington, 565th.
Okay.
They're 35 and 33 over the last 6 years.
Okay.
So there you go. The Texas High School Football Program rankings, you find them on texasfootball.com. Dig into those, and you can debate them among your friends. Let's go over to Mallory Hartley for America's second favorite segment. Final thoughts? You excited for the wedding?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This question does have to do with the wedding.
Okay.
Somebody said, what will Pickle's new name be, and can we still call her Pickle? Yes, absolutely, still call her Pickle. Professionally, she's going to still go by Pickle, but legally, she's going to be Mrs. Ashley Spraggins.
Yeah, she'll be Ashley Spraggins, but it'll be the kind of thing where it's like, for example, Hank's official name, like his legal name is Henry.
Yeah.
But I only call him that when I'm mad.
Henry.
Like, Henry! You know what I mean? Like, only when I'm like when I'm trying to get her attention will I call her Spraggins. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's it. Because otherwise, like, it's Pickle. For example,
Pickle.
like, I don't know if you guys know this, but like Erin Hardigan is married.
Yeah.
But and that is not her legal last name. But
you just got, I mean, she's been working in this industry too long to change that. People just know her. Well, and it's not even like people call her Ashley. People call her Pickle.
Yeah, exactly.
As like her first
it's
name.
The
so
brand.
you can't, it's the brand. Yeah.
It's the brand. But yeah, so we will have, but she's not in, is she in next week?
No, she's going to be on their mini moon.
On their mini moon.
Yeah, she told me where they're going.
No, I don't think we have a show because MLK Day is Monday, so we won't have a show on Monday. But are you going to be my producer next Thursday?
I don't remember. I think she'll be back on Wednesday. I'll have to look at the calendar.
Okay, well, regardless, no matter what, the next time you and I produce, or the first show after the wedding, we'll have a wedding post-game show. So don't worry. We'll have you guys covered. We'll keep you guys in the loop.
Yeah. Somebody else in the comments said, can we get an official DCTF top 10 for the food from the wedding reception?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well,
they're going to have some good food.
Well, because the other thing, you know who we need for that? Powers.
Oh, yeah. Because Powers will be there.
Powers will be at the wedding.
Yeah, that's going to be a segment.
That'll be don't worry. We're gonna get some content out of this wedding.
Oh yeah.
Okay. It's gonna do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook. Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram. Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Thanks again to David Lucio of the Tidehaven Tigers for being our guest. For Mallory Hartley, I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please get your Player of the Year trophy. We will see you Thursday on Texas Football Today.